What's up, everybody? My name is Predator13 and welcome to day 2 of E3 coverage. Today was a day at E3 that all the developers got to showcase what they have planned for the future. And this is actually a lot different from day 1, aka yesterday. Yesterday we had some of the major companies, i.e. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, give their spiel, what they're releasing, what they're publishing. Today is more the developers and the publishers. We heard a lot. Who spoke to? We heard some from Square Enix. Also, people like Bethesda Studios talked today. Last night, Bungie spoke, and just stuff like that, like developers. So a couple weird things. There's going to be a Final Fantasy racing game, which was confirmed by I forgot which company. Also, a Sly Cooper Box Set will be coming to the PlayStation 3, which is kind of cool. If you guys remember what happened with the God of War collection, it's basically going to be that, but with the first 3 Sly Cooper games. Also, Patapon 3 will be coming out for the PSP. Sims 3 will also be hitting consoles in the near future, as well as Motorstorm Apocalypse has officially, been confirmed, and they had some trailers and some stuff there. Also, Square Enix announces Mindjack for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. One of my personal favorite pieces of information, Little Big Planet 2 is confirmed to come out November 2010. That means this November, you can continue playing along with your favorite little sack boys in Little Big Planet. That sounded quite weird. Castlevania Harmony of Despair was showcased. Also, Rock Band 3 includes Pro. I'm just reading this off this fact sheet. Rock Band 3 includes Pro. I guess that means like a Pro edition. And it'll include actual instruments that teach you how to play the music. I read that it's a Squire guitar that has a pressure-sensitive fretboard. So you actually learn to play guitar while playing Guitar Hero with this special controller. That's actually a real guitar. But that also plugs it, like it has an amp. You can plug it into an amp. You can plug it into your computer. You can also use it with Rock Band, which is kind of cool. Jam Rapstar was also on the list of games. Here's a weird fact. The Capcom booth had a zombie chained in a cage. That probably has nothing to do with anything, but I just thought that was a really cool piece of information. Also, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit was shown, and I am confused because if I go dig into my game collection, I have a PS2 game called Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I think 2 or 3. So is this a reboot of the series? It's kind of screaming reboot to me. Bethesda talked a little bit today, and Bethesda had a playable demo of developer Splash Damage's newest first-person shooter, Brink. Also, id, and for those of you who don't know what id is, go type in Doom. They have a new game called Rage. Rock Band 3 will also feature keyboards. And from what was shown, Rock Band 3 has gotten quite the nice graphic overhaul. Actually, looks a lot better as far as graphics. A new Mortal Kombat game was also on display today at E3. We also saw some more new releases, including a new Silent Hill game, new Spider-Man called Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, more gameplay, and a trailer of True Crime. We also got to see some of the early stages of a previously released trailer that had, me really thinking, and it's a Lucha Libre game. Basically, it's a Mexican wrestling game. And comparing to the first trailer, the movements look a little bit more fluid now, but they're still a little blocky compared to the other wrestling game, Giant, which is the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which will once again be making its appearance as SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 will hit stores this fall. In this portion of this podcast, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that really struck me as odd, and that is that there's going to be games made by Majesco. For those of you who don't know what Majesco is, if you guys remember a Wii game called Cooking Mama, they are coming out with 2 new Mama, I guess, games. I guess you could call them Mama games. And those are Craftmama and Babysitting Mama. And I know that the inner gamer in everyone is going to want to kill themselves after hearing that, but the Babysitting Mama game is going to come with a peripheral that is an actual baby. It's a doll of a baby that you stick the Wiimote in and you interact with it, so little kids can play parent. Also, the debut trailer for Saw 2 Flesh and Blood was showcased, and the release date is, not surprisingly, Halloween 2010. The Fable 3 demo was on display today at E3, and from what I heard, it actually was quite the big flop. From what I heard from a couple people who actually got to play it, they said it was nothing special in any way, shape, or form. On to some of my favorite news. The Heavy Rain movie trailer was shown. Thank you. Thank you. I believe it's going to be made or published by New Star or New Line Cinema, and that game needs to be turned into a movie. That being said, it's probably going to be a bad movie, but we'll see. In the last topic, we're going to talk a little bit about the Xbox 360 Slim, which was also on display on the floor today at E3. It is now said to have an internal hard drive, which is kind of sucks. I mean, it does save space, but for those of you who already have, like a 250 gig hard drive, there's pretty much no way to transfer unless you have a transfer cable or you go to a game store. Built-in Wi-Fi is just more stuff to complicate the system. They had trouble getting the first Xbox right. Now with a smaller body and more crap inside of it, that probably means RROD is coming back. For those of you saying, wait, they updated the firmware. Well, no, this Xbox is launching with old firmware, meaning yes, it probably is and probably will going to get RROD. Well, that concludes the coverage of Day 2 at E3. Tune in tomorrow as we bring you the last day of E3 coverage. As you guys know, E3 runs from June 14th to the 17th, the 14th being the preview day, and the 15th through the 17th being the days that it's actually opened to all the press. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Check down in the description for any information that I forgot to say, as well as a complete coverage of not only today, but of yesterday. See you guys tomorrow.